What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record. Today's guest really needs no introduction. He's no stranger to the show. First time he was here, he was telling us, that there's really a wolf. And we believed him, man. And then he dropped Zoo. And, things got kind of wild. And right now, he's shaking up the snow globe with his new album, Shake the Snow Globe. He said, This is my homie. Look, certain artists are artists, and it's cool, and then it's just homies.
Yeah.
My man, Russ, man. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, bro.
How you doing?
Can't complain.
Yeah?
Much better this time around.
Okay. What was wrong last time around?
It's not that, what was wrong. It was more like it was just chaotic. It was a zoo, mentally and everything. But now it's really, I feel like my album titles are not so much concept stories. They're more reflective of where I'm at in my life. They sum up they timestamp the whole situation that I'm in. So it's a better situation right now. I've reset, I've reflected, and that's what the whole album title is about. It's just kind of snapping out of it,
Okay. So it's the shaking the snow globe, and then you wait for everything to settle.
Right, because it's what ends up happening, bro? You get to this point where you almost get so used to something that's so irregular.
Right.
I got very used to certain things, used to this life, the positives and the negatives. And I was like, you know what? Wait a second. It was one day I was just walking around my house and I was like, man, I have a house. Look at this studio in my house. All these things. I had to snap out of it and just you get very stagnant, And that's the whole concept of shaking the snow globe, just to reset everything and be like, yo, wake up.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
You posted this Instagram message explaining the album title. And you said, I'm not proud of the headspace I sunk into in 2018. I allowed myself to be overwhelmed, suffocated by internal and external enemies. It got so bad that I thought I was going to die.
Correct.
That's
so intense.
And it is. And then, but if you listen to the album Shots,
yeah.
the lyric, I thought I was going to die around the same time I made Zoo, is true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What? And we talk, we check in, right? It don't really be deep heart to heart to be like, yo, you good? Yo,
right.
How you? I had no idea things was getting that bad. What made you feel like you was gonna die?
And it wasn't a suicidal thing. It wasn't because I don't know. I fuck with myself super heavy, and I didn't want I'm not on that wave. It just felt like it was going to end though, and I don't know what it was. I think I touch on it on that explanation. I think it was it was just a overwhelming feeling. I think it was just a lot of pressures of and negativity from the outside world, shit going on with my family. You know what I'm saying? So it was just it just got a lot. I burned myself out. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all that really happened. I wasn't taking care of my mind as much as I should have. So it just got very suffocating,
Right.
So that's where that came from.
How old are you now?
27.
27. You have a lyric on the album.
Age.
You have a lyric on the album too about your mom, right?
Yes.
I didn't write it down, and usually I write it down, but your mom being afraid because you're about to be 27.
Yeah. Well, because the whole 27 club,
right.
and I'm just trying to get to 28, and then then I think it's smooth sailing for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's stay on Shots for a second.
Okay.
No one told me these shots start adding up.
Right.
And we told me to stop, that I had enough.
That's talking about the shots that I'm taking from the world, and just and just in general, just no one told me that all of this is gonna add up and have an effect on you, and that maybe you should take a breather and relax for a second. When I got off social media, it wasn't even just to get off social media because it was too much or whatever. It was really to cleanse my mind and give myself a break. So because I wasn't aware that yo, this is having a real effect. This life is having a real effect on me, and I need to take a step back and just relax for a second.
What happens, because you're feeling this, right? And you're feeling this pressure and this, and I kind of get what you're saying about the dying part, not necessarily a thing, but just this.
Yeah,
you can almost feel the weight.
Right, it's
suffocating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you there's the realization period, right?
Right.
Where you're like, yo, this shit ain't right.
Yeah.
What's the thing what was the first step, or what made you shift and start to really change things around? You recognize it first, and then you have to actually change it.
Yeah, I think, you know what it was, bro? It was just being in my house a lot. Actually being in the same place for a good amount of time. Stability, because I was moving around so much. I was either on the road or traveling, whatever. I didn't really have a home like that, And so once I got to really be in my house, be with my family, for an extended period of time, like it started really settling in, like this, like the positives of the life started like settling in, like, oh, okay, so it just took stability.
You definitely been on positive Russ
Yeah.
vibes, right?
Yeah, no,
It's
we're
a
good
new
now.
era.
We're good now.
It's a new era.
Yeah.
And I think for the casual fan,
Yeah.
there was a lot of negativity
Yeah.
associated with you.
Sure.
I've
Sure.
always seen you. I've seen you throughout your career give it up for artists that you appreciate and a fan
Yeah.
of. Like you've always been very vocal about your admiration for Cole
Yeah. Yeah.
and the like. But just earlier this week on Twitter, man, you went like on your. We call that the Hove rant. You remember when Hove got drunk that time and went on Twitter and just started shouting out everybody?
Yeah.
Kenny Beats, Brock Hampton, Summer Walker, Doja Cat, Ari Lennox, Mahalia, who's super dope, Tyler, LMA, Billie Eilish, plus more. What kind of spurred that on, man? You just started throwing all types of
I just
love
like,
out in the world.
I like woke up early and I just felt amazing, and I was like, you know what? I had this realization that I think I saw something Snoop said, and it's like really obvious, but it's like for whatever reason it resonated. But he was just like, you got to give love to get love, and I wasn't even doing it from a place of like, ooh, I want love back from these people or something. It was more like, as artists, we don't. Artists feel alone too often, and it's messed up because we're not competing against each other. We're competing with ourselves, and so I think as artists, we need to do a better job of creating a support system of just showing love. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think a lot of artists, like, we're fans of each other, but we don't say anything, or we're waiting for the other one to hit us up first, because we think like there's this weird competition. But I just think it's important, like, as artists, to show love to each other so that, like, at least you know that it's love over here. You feel me? And that, like, I fuck with you, and like, that I know for me, that can mean a lot. That could just, like, make your day, just as far as, like, not that you're putting so much weight in that person's opinion, but just the fact that, oh, okay, cool. Like, other artists showing love, it's not this fucking competition. Cause I know in my head, like, I got into this place where I was thinking I was competing with people, and and it's like, nah, like, this whole time I'm really just competing against myself.
Well, you created your own lane too, which is interesting that you feel that way, because you have hit records, and successful records, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have the big radio record, like traditionally of what we think a hit is.
Right.
You don't necessarily have that, but you undeniably have hit records.
Right.
So I always felt like with you, like, you created a lane, and it was dope to see you be successful and not have to play in the same sandbox as everybody else if you didn't want to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, like, so even to that, right? It's like, you're competing for radio spins, and you're competing for, like, spots on this, but you're really not, because, like, everyone is in their own lane. Everyone's playing in their own arena. It's just you and your fans and your little bubble of your world. Like, that's why all those people, like, they have their own world. Tyler has his own bubble. Like, Billie Eilish has her own bubble. Like, every artist has their own bubble and own ecosystem where it's just them and their fans. You feel me? Like, so the idea that we're competing against each other, we're really not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're really not. Like, just all these numbers and shit, like, skew that, but we're really not. We're competing against ourselves.
Positive Russ.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, man, though, but negativity sells too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something that I've always kind of been an advocate for you in the media. I think that's been discussed, right? And you try to convince other people, and Russ, he got it, like, off of the basis of the music,
right?
I started to see a shift of a lot of people on social media and media, fuck with you, not because of the music. It was after, like, the situation with Smoke Perp, and then they kind of seen how you move or how you handle things, and like, oh shit, I fuck with Russ, now, which was funny, but it was also, like, heartbreaking in a way, to me,
I feel you, because it shouldn't have to take that.
That shouldn't even matter.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about music. But I mean, you still address that on the album on Need a Minute.
Yeah.
Or What a Life, After Show Arena Meetups, Overseas Germany's rappers getting beat up.
Yeah.
And you talked about that actually last time you was on the show, and the circumstances that led to that, and people could look it up. Just the back and forth with you guys. Positive Russ.
Yeah.
But is this still your energy? Like, is this still?
I think, like, it's just a matter of like respect,
Right.
and that's just all it comes down to. And even that situation, a lot of people just have everything skewed with that, and several other situations where like you're sending people to jump. It's like all of these situations were conversations. Like I had a conversation with him, you know what I'm saying, in Germany, and like to his face, you feel me? And then like I can't certain times, like if you have just wild ass homies around you, like they might just go like
Right.
I didn't know that was gonna happen, you feel me? Like I was going up to him to talk to him face to face. Whatever story he tells is whatever he wants to tell, but that's the truth, you feel me?
Right.
He was in the middle of an interview, and I was like, yo, what's up? Da, 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 da. And then one of my homies just like, you know, swung on him, and that was that, you know.
Right.
But it's like, I'm not even trying to like dwell in that space. The thing with me, I don't regret anything that I've done, you
Right.
know, at all. The only thing moving forward, the only thing I could say objectively is like allowing myself to be brought to that frequency. You feel me? Because it's just like it's not fire. Like I don't go out of my way to try and do shit like that. Like I don't go out of my way to like start a beef with you,
Right.
you know. But it's like all my beefs are always people antagonizing me. It's someone talking shit about me, and like it's like, yo, at a certain point, like if you don't want me to address it in real life, like then just don't talk about
Just
me.
leave you alone.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah, I feel you. And I think the important thing that you said there is
Yeah.
more so how it makes you feel, how it brings you
Yeah.
into a negative space. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well, just because it's like it's just not a great frequency to be operating out of, you know. But it is what it is. It's a respect thing.
And then guap that. Can that be fixed? If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
real quick, I seen, and I'm not advocating for any, like, the smoke perp thing, I can understand. Like, I couldn't judge somebody how to react, but based off the things that were done, like, you can't, you know, certain react. The guap dad thing, when I saw it, me personally, I was like, man, is it that serious?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be fixed.
Sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, could certain things be fixed?
I don't like the thing with me, and like all my friends know shit. It's like I'm not a hater. I don't like have any. I don't harbor animosity. Like if Smoke Perp dropped a hard song tomorrow, like and it was hard, I'm listening to it. Like I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really care. Like I'm not even. I don't know. I just don't harbor the negativity. But that situation was another thing where it's like, you know, I don't know you at all. Never talked to you. We have like one mutual friend maybe, but I don't, you know, but I've never met you, don't talk to you, and you for some reason want to like put my name in your verse on some silly like, you know, some slick
It wasn't
shit.
even that bad of a
It does, no, it's just a matter of like, why are you even talking about me? You feel me? And that situation too was once again like I went up to him and just asked him what that was about. And then he just started getting fidgety and pulling his pants up and putting his phone down. So like I'm like, all right. I'm thinking you're about to just and you're turning your head away and shit. Like if someone that you know, like you mention them in a verse and you see how I'm walking up to you, like, and I'm right in your face talking to you, and you're turning your head away, it's kind of like, all right, I'm thinking you're about to try some shit. So, you know, just once again though, it's like it's never really my intention for it to go there. Just sometimes it just ends up going there, but. It is what it is, you know.
Positive Russ, maybe we don't have to go there, man. I like for your sake.
Yeah, I mean,
you know
like
for your well-being.
My whole thing is like, it is bizarre to me how people like refuse to read chapter 1 of all these like beefs. It's always like motherfuckers starting shit with me. Like I don't mention people's names and start shit. Like yo, all you have to do, like that could have been completely avoided. By just not mentioning some stranger that you don't know, grown ass man in your verse. Like, why don't you go ask him why he's sitting in his studio thinking about me? Why, like, everyone wants to jump to like, I don't know if you need to do that. I don't know if you had to. It's like, no. Go to chapter 1 and ask why did you have to think about another grown ass man while you're writing your verse?
That happens with, and we see it so many times in the media. It's the same. They never hear the slap. But they always hear the gunshot. It's just whatever the loudest, the reaction, the biggest thing is what gets the most attention. Let's get back into this album a little bit though.
Let's do it.
There's a lot of features. Like, you know, for somebody, again, you came in and I think you made your point about, you know, really DIY.
Yeah, I took the first album to prove that. That's why, like, for the fans who are like, yo, like, I want you to still produce all your stuff and, you know, no features. It's like, on the first album, I didn't know anyone, so I like literally couldn't go get features. Like I didn't know anyone, and I wanted to make. I always wanted my first album to be that whole DIY, produce everything, mix it, to prove to myself first and foremost, and then to prove to the world like, oh, you can go do that. So I already did that. Like that's the first album ever in history that type of thing is done. But now it's like now I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna collaborate with who I fuck with.
Benny the Butcher, Kiana the Day, Boogus, Bia, Rick Ross, like and then on the production side, Boy Wonder, Illmind produced a couple joints on the album along with yourself and some others.
Yeah.
I want to get into this Benny the Butcher joint.
Yes.
I Thought You Got Me.
Yeah.
How'd that come together?
I'm just a huge fan of Benny.
He's
he's so hard to me. Like, and so I just hit him on Instagram or something like, yo, you're crazy, da 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 da. Like I would love to like do some shit. So the first thing we did was like it's a beat that I produced where I'm just on the hook and he's got 2 verses, like it's for him. So I don't know when that's coming out. But then I was like, man, I need him on my album. And that was just a song I made in the studio. So we weren't in the room together. That was just a song I was making. I was like, man, he would just sound crazy on this. And I thought it would be cool to get him into like my world a little bit, but that it's still gritty enough and kind of still in his world a little bit. I don't know. I thought it was like a really nice blend.
Yeah, I hadn't really quite heard him on a joint like that. And then really, obviously I seen the feature before I heard the song.
Yeah.
And then just from your perspective, how personal you were getting, that sounded like a really personal story. I Thought You Got Me.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't think that you would want anybody to touch that. But then he came at it in his own way as well.
Right. Well, because I think like the hook is so relatable. Like I Thought You Got Me. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, you know, the stories that he tells and just his perspective, I knew he would have some shit to say about that. So yeah. We're gonna do some more shit though for sure.
On Mama, you had a line that I wanted to
That's my shit.
The real life story behind it. Well,
Mama's probably my favorite. I don't like Mama and Patience right now are probably my favorite songs. And guess what? Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Guess What.
Yeah.
In a second on Mama. I want to make sure I got the line right? Because I didn't have the lyrics, so I tried to write it down. But it all hit me
when I got to call Nipsey.
When I got to call Nipsey with Swizz Beats, told me that Alicia Keys
told him my mom's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, I'm trying to picture the scenario, right?
Yeah.
I'm like the kid, you know that kid, the kid just counting. He's doing his homework and there's the meme. It's like,
right. He's trying to like add it
I'm
all
trying
up.
to how does this all add up? So like Nipsey, Swizz, Alicia, like your mom, like what's going on?
So when I went to Scott Storch's house for the first time, Steve Lobel like connected that. And you know, he was close with Nipsey. And he knew that I was a huge fan of Nipsey. So the first time I went to Storch's house, Lobel was like, what? I'll get you on the phone right now with Nipsey. I was like, what? Like, you know, I'm a huge fan.
Marathon.
Yeah. And so he FaceTimed Nipsey. He was getting like a haircut or some shit. And we just talked on the phone. That was like the first time I spoke with him. So that was just like crazy.
Was he aware of kind of your movement and what you had going on?
Yeah, he fucked with it, which was like meant everything to me. We had several conversations after that I'ma always just keep private, you know, like
respectfully.
Yeah. But he showed love to me like in a like I said, in one of those conversations during a time where like he didn't understand how much that meant to me because it was around the zoo time when everyone was kind of fucking coming at me crazy and the internet was going nuts. And he reached out and showed love, like, and for me, one of my idols reaching out to me during that time, I was like, man, that's everything. Swiss Beats thing was,
Oh, so these are 2 separate occasions.
These are 2 separate occasions.
I thought it was the way it fit in one line. I thought it was the same phone call.
That would be bizarre. Yeah. I'm just like on a 3-way with.
Yeah.
That would be bizarre. No, that didn't happen. I could understand why that's
right.
confusing.
I was like, okay. So Swizz and
separate phone call. Yes, Swizz called me, and we were just talking about music or whatever. And he was like, yeah, man, AK, like, she loves your mom. She sees you with your mom. She loves it, da-da-da-da. And I was just like, man, I got to tell my mom ASAP. Like, she's going to go crazy. Yeah.
Did your mom cry when she heard this song? Your mom, I kind of feel like your mom, I met your mom a couple times, and then from what I see on social media, I feel like she might cry at a moment like
She's
this.
a big crier. It doesn't take much to, you know, it's not like that impressive.
Right.
Like she went to the chiropractor like 2 days ago and cried. So it's like, it doesn't take much.
Yo, man, shout out to mom, man.
She's the best. She's the best.
Yo, I love the book
Thank you.
that you put out, man. It was really dope. And I think this is really important. It kind of ties back to the Nipsey thing. I can see why Nipsey really, you know, would reach out.
Yeah.
And because, you know, you guys kind of champion the same thing in terms of
Right.
this independence of and
Yeah.
really being about your business. So in your book, you said in June 2015 you made $620. In
Yes.
June 2016 you made $100K, and that you watching Money Grow on TuneCore every week.
Yeah.
On guess what? I think
Yeah.
you killed this verse because it all comes back to the music, right?
Right. Right.
I
Right.
studied
Right.
this shit inside out, but I'm not reversible. That's a bar.
Yes.
Living way
Big
too
bar.
purposeful, more values ain't coercible.
Mm-hmm.
You made a hit, but your
shit.
shit probably still not
Yeah,
reimbursable.
that's a fact.
Money every Friday, indie
Indie
catalog,
catalog
and
and
versatile.
versatile.
My throwaways are hits for you. One day I might be merciful.
That's rough. That's
That was
brutal.
a hard. That was a hard.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, what has the indie catalog grown to? Like how do you separate the two? Because your deal with Columbia
Sure.
has allowed you, or your partnership with Columbia has allowed your previous
To still
catalog, previous
operate.
them,
Yeah. To
to
still
remain
operate
untouched.
independently. Yeah. Which is like huge shout out to them. I'll never take that away from them. And I'm super appreciative that they've allowed me to basically have two careers,
Mhm.
because I have like the label career, which is the albums.
Right.
And then I have the independent career, which is everything that's not on the albums. So it's like it's a beautiful situation. And yeah, it's made some it's made some
I mean,
money.
and you're still getting plaques from these. It's
Yeah.
almost like the popularity that you continue to gain.
Well, everything just overlaps, everything feeds each other. So putting out an album helps boost the indie catalog, and me putting out a song independently helps boost the album, and it all just kind of goes back to the same pot.
Are you still putting out songs outside of Columbia? Like
Yeah.
anything anything that you put out that's not connected
Not
to an
anything. It's
album?
always just a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're understanding. They get it, because when I got with them, like when that whole conversation was happening back in 2016, I had this huge catalog already.
Right.
And I was doing my song a week thing. So they understood that that's just my formula and that's how I work. So they knew that you can't just come in and like disrupt what's working. Like, this is why y'all even fuck with me in the first place.
Right.
So they've been super understanding.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you another. This might quite be $1 million question because it might be worth $1 million at this point. My throwaways are hits for you. One day I might be merciful. I want to talk about the concept of throwaways versus hits.
Yes.
And best on earth, because it's a
Best on
it's a
Earth is a
hit.
throwaway. Yeah.
It's a hit.
I know. I know.
You didn't think it was a hit?
No, which is like bizarre, right? Because you know me, like I think everything I do is phenomenal, and it's like I think everything I do is a hit. And it's not that I didn't think it was a hit, because if someone asked me like, "Yo, do you think the song's hard?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, the song is super hard," but I wasn't betting on that one,
Right.
Like, so this whole the way that happened was crazy as shit. So we made that song February, right? January, February of 2019. And then it was just another song. Like, it was just, I just kept it in the vault, kept it in the stash. And then like around September, October, Wonder hit me and was like, "Yo, are you doing anything with that beat? Because I think someone wants it for a movie, or like I think maybe G-Eazy had a song over it too or some shit for his album or something." Like, and he was like, and then my manager he's like, "Yo, we gotta buy the beat, otherwise we're gonna lose it." I was like, 100% I want to buy the beat, even though in my head I'm like, I'm probably not gonna put it out, but I'm gonna buy it so that I know I didn't waste my time that night I made it.
Right.
Because if I just let it go, then that means I wasted my time that night, which I refused to waste my time. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna buy it on the off chance that maybe I'll put it out. So bought it, kept it in the stash, and then Wonder hit me like a week later and was just like, "Yo, you gotta drop it. I'm telling you, it's gonna go crazy." I'm like, "For real?" I'm like, "All right, let me see." So I started doing the song a week thing again, because I realized that blowing up isn't like this final destination. You have to keep blowing up.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I know how to do that, and I told Columbia that. And, they wanted to try the traditional approach of like, you put out one song, wait 3 months and do, and you work it. I was like, you know what, we'll do that. And I'll be down to do that just to show y'all that that's not the way, and that's what we did with like Paranoid and Summer at 7 and Civil War worked. But
Right.
I was like, all right, now we're going to do it my way, because I know how to make this shit shake. So I was like, all right, song a week. And I was like, I'm not going to put out any of my big hits in the first 6 weeks, because I know people, like, if you're putting out a song a week, 4 weeks in, no one's like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." They're thinking you're doing
it takes a while for them to realize what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, and from experience, I know it's around 6 or 7 weeks in a row when people start being like, "Oh, okay, what the fuck is going on?"
I'm about to write that down.
Yeah, for sure. No, so like, Best on Earth, if I'm not mistaken, was just week 6. And so I knew in my head, I was like, all right, after Best on Earth, that's when I'm going to really start putting out the hits. Best on Earth was just some shit to get me to week 7. But then like it went fucking nuts. And I was like, really? I was like, I was about to start putting out the real hits.
What was the week 7 song?
It was this one with Ill Mind. That's
Well,
just insane. It's called Private.
yeah,
But it's
okay.
like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have like major hits. Like I got a crazy R&B song
Right.
with Ty Dolla $ign over a Scott Storch beat. I have a crazy song with Alec Benjamin on the hook over a Scott Storch beat.
Shout out
like,
to the homie Alec Benjamin. I fuck with
yeah,
Alec.
it's just like I had mega hits.
Yeah.
Like Best on Earth was just some like, all right, cool. Let's just you know what? I'm gonna trust Wonder. Like, fuck it, let's do it. I was like, man, really? Y'all made this blow up? Which I was super ecstatic and super grateful, but I'm like, man, that just goes to show, like, you can't sleep on anything. Like, there's definitely songs on my computer that I'm sleeping on right now that might be best on earth. That's what I started thinking about. It's like, how many more of these do I have on my fucking computer?
Shout out to Bia too, man.
Yeah.
Been a fan for a long time. And then
Yeah.
Rihanna gets her hands on it, and
Yeah, that was insane. That was like, I know some people are probably like, oh, this was calculated, whatever. Like, how you know that, like, you know, God or the universe or whatever is just so real is like the verse that is on Best on Earth. My first verse, I changed it like 2 days before I put it out.
Right.
That's not what it was, you know? And so, like, the fact that I changed my verse and put Rihanna's name in it, like, prior to even knowing that was going to happen.
Right.
And then it comes out and she does what she does. It almost looks like this was all planned, but
Right.
that's just God. You feel me? It's like, that was so perfect. I changed the verse, put Rihanna's name in it. And then also the fucking Nighttime song, I sampled Rihanna,
Right.
which I knew I was going to drop as like a single type of thing. I don't know. It was just like, I kind of manifested that one into the space.
That's
know?
dope. Nah,
Yeah.
and you manifest a lot. You know, that's one of, I
Yeah.
think, the lessons that I know I take away from you is
Yeah.
like you speak shit into existence.
Yeah, for sure. I wanna really though give a big fucking shout out to Bia, because the Rihanna thing doesn't happen if Bia is not on the song, and that's a fact.
Is it
That's a
because it
fact.
makes it relatable?
Well, no, because Bia and
that's the
Rihanna
point.
have like Rihanna's been
okay.
a fan of Bia,
Right.
so I think that Rihanna just
Okay.
like, if Bia's not on the song, I don't know if Rihanna
Maybe she doesn't check it.
It doesn't make it to her,
Right.
but she fucks with Bia, so she's
That's
like,
hard.
oh shit, this is hard, whatever. And then shout out to Rihanna for just like showing that public love. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what's gonna make artists feel less alone, and just it's a better ecosystem when we all show love. But yeah, if Bia's not on that song, Rihanna's not doing that.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
Last time I want to go back to a series of tweets that you put, because I think it was important. It was very interesting. Where you really call out like racial and systemic inequalities in the music industry.
Sure.
In general, just in terms of the white people who run the industry, who profit off of black art,
Yeah.
and ultimately black pain.
Yeah.
Right. And you being a white and with no real investment in making things better.
Right.
And you being a white artist.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, it's also my job to speak about this. Like, I
Sure.
see this going on. Like, I have to say something.
Yeah.
What has happened since then? Like, do you think about other ways to kind of use your platform to further that very specific conversation? I saw Meek tweet something very similar.
I just think
the
it's
other day.
ownership, and I
Mhm.
think it's just ownership, and I think those, and I like what Tyler the Creator said too recently about the word urban, because I've always said that amongst like my friends about how it's just a euphemism.
Right.
It's like it's a way that corporate people who play softball can just say the N-word.
Right.
It's like our urban radio department, this would be good for urban youth. It's like, what are you really trying to say? And why are you even speaking on that?
Mhm.
But yeah, I just think it's ownership. Like, ownership cuts out that issue of signing these shitty deals, and that's what that's what a TuneCore situation is. That's what just owning your shit. Like, you don't need a label to put your songs on Spotify and blow up and da 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 da. Like, it's ownership. You don't have to go play the game. You don't have to go fuck with these people. But I think I think this next decade coming up is just going to be a lot more of that. A lot of ownership. You're going to see a lot of kids, hopefully, who are just being these mega stars from their bubble and their little corner of the world without having to really play the corporate game. But I think ownership is super key. Super key.
It's dope. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next action is, and that's something I thought it was dope. I was proud to see you.
Yeah.
I know that's how you felt. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I was like, man, it's dope to see.
I wore a
see
shirt
you say
too. It's
that.
white silence is pro racism, because the reality is that black people didn't start racism. You feel me?
Right.
White people started it, so white people have to fix it. Like, that's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, white people did this shit, so y'all gotta fix it. We gotta fix it.
Right.
That's all it comes down to. We like we know how black people feel, and the problem is that white people are not giving a fuck enough because white people aren't holding each other accountable. You know, and that's what it just comes down to.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
You know, man, I really, like I said, dog, I'm a fan of yours.
Thank you.
Definitely the homie. I think what you're doing, the music side,
Yeah.
is dope and inspiring. Like obviously,
Thank
you know your way around the studio.
Yeah, a
you
little
know,
bit.
you know a little something about a hit or two.
A little bit.
And you know, the public persona when you use your voice, for better or for worse. You know what I'm saying? There's been
Yeah.
ups and there's been downs, but I commend you for the passion that you put into it
Yeah.
every time you
Thank
kind of
you.
step outside. I know even sometimes if I might not agree
Yeah.
with something that you say or something that you did,
Yeah.
I know it's something that you felt kind of really passionate about, and it comes from the two sides
Yeah.
of the same coin, man. And I respect that, man. You put everything on the line for your art.
Thank you. No, I think that's the thing with me is that everything I do say, it comes from a good place. Like my intentions are pure, and it comes from a passionate place. Like the reality is like when people are like, "Why are you always talking about this? Like the music business? Why do you care? Why don't you like just let people do?" Because I'm passionate about hip hop. I'm passionate about the music business. I'm passionate about ownership. Like I'm passionate about it. You feel me? Like you're passionate about Patex, so you talk about Patex all day. Like that's cool. Do your thing. I'm passionate about like owning your shit and being a billionaire. So like I'm gonna talk about that. You feel me? So,
I heard about this Gary Vee investment too, man. I'm gonna have to speak to you about that. off the
yeah,
air.
I didn't go through with it,
Right.
but like Gary Vee is awesome.
Right. Nah, that's
Shout
dope,
out to
man.
him.
Nah, shout out to the homie Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Shake the Snow Globe
Yes.
out now.
Yes.
Y'all should definitely go check it out. Y'all know I'll be in the comments. He's gonna be everywhere promoting it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on YouTube with you in the comments, so we can talk about it, man. Talk about your favorite tracks, your favorite bars. I'm gonna be in there commenting
Those
with
YouTube
y'all.
comments are gonna be great.
Yeah. You know, listen, man, they're gonna be passionate.
Yeah, like the reality is like, you know, I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday, and they're like, you know, does it bother you? Because there was a tweet going around like, you know, we got I don't know, they were like some viral tweet, some negative about my album coming out, whatever. And I was telling someone like that type of shit, it really doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, I'm very, very grateful for my haters. That's just the reality because it's not real hate, number one. It doesn't translate in real life. It's promo. I've like had so many people that have DM'd me like, man, I became a fan of you because I just kept seeing your name and people talking shit. So I was like, let me just see what the fuck
I gotta
fuss
check
is
for
about.
myself. Yeah.
And they're a fan. So I'm just kind of like, yo, like, I'm very grateful for my haters because it's like, y'all are my street team. You feel me? So
hard.
it works out.
That's hard. Nah,
Yeah.
man. You definitely got a big street team.
Yeah. Huge.
Nah, Russ, congratulations on the
Thank
album,
you.
man. Thanks for coming to the show, man. You know
Thank
you
you.
always got a home here. We could talk
Yeah.
very real about some shit. And
I'm dying to
good
drink
luck.
this chlorophyll water because I'm hungover.
Do your thing. See, he was in the studio last night. For the record, thank y'all for tuning in. Check us out next week. Peace.